Hey y'all, how y'all doing? How y'all doing? How y'all doing? This is Ken coming at you from Ken.com, your SQL's coach today. I ran across a solution that you may be interested in. This solution is how to remove the contents of a text file or log file so that you can put more information in it. Now, you know your files, they get pretty big sometimes, but sometimes you don't want to go in and delete them. With this SSIS package, I am capable of deleting contents of a text file. And to do that, I use a contents of a file that's already empty and distribute that content to the files that have text in them. Let me show you how I did it. So here I have some text files. In this case, as you can see, this particular one here is the largest one. Now, every time I run my SSIS package, I want to prep these text files for new information. I don't want to delete and recreate the files. I just want to empty the text files. And to do that, I'm going to take the contents of an already empty file and fill the contents of the file that's full with that empty file. Here's the empty file that I created. There's nothing in here. I'm going to take this and copy it over to this. I'm not going to open it up because it's pretty big. Let me open it up and see what's up with it. As you can see, it can get pretty big if you are running something and putting information inside of that file every time. So in this case, I'm going to take the information from this file and fill these three error log files. So to do that, I create three. If you're familiar with SSIS, you know what I'm talking about. If you're not familiar with SSIS, then you'll have to figure out how to, and I don't have a video, there's lots of videos out there, how to create connections to those particular files. So let's see, the one that's got stuff in it is this file playtime. Let's look at it. As you can see, there's information in it already. Well, what I'm going to do after I run this, this one here says don't need these records, empty file, and it says don't need these records. Well, instead of don't need these records, I'm going to create another connection to this empty file, and I'm going to call it empty. Okay. And I'm going to point directly to that empty file. Okay. All right, let's take a look and see if there's anything in there. Shouldn't be anything in there. So as you can see, there's something in the time file. Sorry about the breathing, guys. And when I finish with this, there's not going to be anything in the time file, in those files. Let's double check. As you can see, they all have, this one has something, this one has, and this one, and this one. Well, I don't really care about that one, but I do care about these three. Okay, when I finish running this should finish. It should empty those files out. And there you go. And as you can see, it went empty. So that's the only thing I did was I used the tool from the SSIS toolbox. And this particular version of Microsoft Visual Studio is 2019. And let's see. It is 2019 version 16.10.4. So I use this tool called the Data Distributor, and I put it in between the file that I have empty and the files that I'd like to empty. And that's it. Let's take a look at it. There's nothing really in there, really. It's just a regular tool. Let's rebuild it here. I'm going to rebuild it so you can see what I did. I took this. So I'm just going to rebuild exactly what these are up here. Save time. I'm just going to create a file data source, which you should know this already. Even if you don't know this, you should figure out how to create a file data source. And in the file data source, I take that empty file and I point it to the empty file. Okay. Preview. And I connect it to that distributor. Then from the distributor, I make an output flat file data source. And I'll just stick with one for the moment. And I will use the time. And you see where it says overwrite data in the file. That's exactly what I want. Yeah, that's my coworker sneezing all over the place. All right, I'm going to put something. Let me take this out. Where's the other one? Time. I think this was time, right? Yeah, that was time. Let me take this out so that you'll see that. Let's do a sec because I don't want to mess up what I already have. YouTube. All right. Well, just to give you an understanding what's happening here, I am processing a bunch of files in a folder, taking information from those files and putting it in a database. Inside of that process, I output out to error logs files. Well, those error log files fill up. So I want to empty and prepare those error log files. So before I do that, I'm going to go ahead on and make a little run on that so you can see how the file fills up. So as you can see, it's running and the file should be filling up. As you can see, it's up to 34, 60, 60, 63. And I'll just stop it right there just so you can see that there's information going in that file. You don't need to sit around and look at everything. So as you can see, the information in the file. And this particular set here, which is, I want to empty those log files. And I'll just run this particular one here. And that should empty that data set. Let's see if it empties it out. It should be finished by now. It is. Did I get the right one? Playtime? Let's see. Playtime. Yeah. I did. I was thinking that would finish, but I guess it's not. Yeah, it emptied it. It emptied it. So for some reason it's not showing empty. Let's take out overwrite this time. Take flat file source, empty, preview, shouldn't be anything in there. Preview, nothing in there. And take the balancer and send information here. And there shouldn't be anything in there. All right. Oops, my bad, sorry. Let's just do this one. Okay, now I'm hoping that, yeah, see, it emptied it out this time. What I did was different. I took out that overwrite data in file. And now the file is empty. Okay, that concludes the video. Thanks for stopping by. Your SQL coach, Ken, coming at you from Ken.com. And I don't know how many of these I'll have, but I ran across this and I thought you may be interested in it. And I couldn't find anything on the internet about it, but you have something now. Okay, it's what? November 2021. Talk to y'all later.